Welcome everyone, welcome back to another video in my Apex Legends series where we dive deep into how to survive each region of the map. In this week, we have my new all-time favorite place to drop, the Tilted Towers of Apex Legends. I'm talking about Skulltown. So without further ado, let's get into it. So if you're looking to get the 20 kill badge or one of the damage badges, there is no better place to drop than Skulltown. After dropping here more than 200 times, I have developed a simple strategy that anyone can use to survive. Before we start, let's look at Skulltown compared to other sections in the Apex Legends map. This area is considered to be a mid-tier loot area. This means that there's a high chance to find mid-tier loot like blue armors, blue attachments, medkits, big shields, etc. And as a plus, Skulltown has so many loot areas that if I were to list them in this video, it wouldn't be done for another 2 weeks. Since Skulltown has many loot areas, I had to break it down into 5 sections. Here we have the northeast section, northwest section, southeast section, southwest section, and of course the center section. With the exception of the building in the northwest section and the center section, Skulltown is entirely considered a one floor layout. This is a huge problem for people since the buildings themselves have multiple entry points. So it's easy to get flanked or get shot from a window or open door. If you're a new player or someone with cheap headphones, I would not recommend Skulltown to you at all. This area requires a lot of sound hoarding and some quick trigger fingers since enemies seem to come from all directions, and yes, I mean all directions, and it's easy for someone to duck around corners and flank you, sort of like what I did to this Gibby right here after I killed his buddies. So if you fit the criteria, this is simply what you're going to want to do. You need to find your comfort area, and yes, comfort area, because you can't simply land wherever you want in Skulltown and expect to survive. If you see from these clips, I love landing in the northeast quadrant of Skulltown. Within the quadrant, I like this particular building right here since I know all the loot spots, so I know I'll never miss a thing. After looting this section, if I know there are other people around my section, instead of running straight to them, hop on top of the buildings. Most of the time, enemies tend to focus on the first floor and never give a second chance to look up. This makes for some easy kills to unsuspecting players. This is the biggest thing I've noticed people never take advantage of, especially when there are more than one team in your section. In Skulltown, it is so easy to get flanked and die. If you don't hear anyone in your section, continue looting your section before moving on to any other quadrant. You never know what you're gonna find. When initially landing here, if I see multiple enemies going to my section, or if I land late, the next best option is to land next to one of these little canisters next to your loot area. In Skulltown, there are 3 unique areas where you can find these canisters, which to me are so underutilized. If you see many enemies drop in your quadrant, try dropping to one of these locations for quick loot. If you're still unfortunate to get any loot, then your time at Skulltown is done and you must move on sadly by jumping off the edge of the map. Nah, I'm just kidding. But if you're unlucky and there's no guns in the canisters, your next option is to move outside of Skulltown, either here, 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 or here, where you can loot up and get right back into the fight. Nobody ever lands in these locations in the beginning, so you should easily find loot here to at least get you going. Getting back to clearing your section, although this is very situational, I would highly recommend avoiding this center section as much as you can, unless you're on top of the building. Whenever an enemy team clears their section, their automatic next move is to go towards the center of Skulltown. What you want to do instead is rotate just outside the center area. That way you can pick off enemy teams either inside with grenades or gunfire. Now let's say you get no action in your northeast section and now you started to hear gunfire in the southeast quadrant. Rather than just beeline it straight there and run right through the center, get on top of the buildings and make your way over there while maintaining high ground. This way, if a team decides to join in, you won't find yourself in a tight crunch between two teams. Basically, all you have to do is maintain that high ground when possible or whenever you're getting shot at. Once Skulltown is completely cleared out, the next point of action is to either move into Thunderdome, which is a great area to go since it's considered a high tier loot zone, and if you don't already have purple armor, then this might be your best bet to find some. This, however, is heavily dependent on whether a team has already looted Thunderdome, and if they haven't already made a move to Skulltown prior to you going there. Besides this, the only other two areas you should travel to would be Market or North going towards Bunker, unless you hear gunfire in another direction, which should always be prioritized. There are some other tips I should mention about Skulltown. Try to avoid grouping up with your teammates since each room is very tight and it's so easy for someone to just throw a grenade and pick all you guys off at once. Also, the rooms are very tight, so it's easy for someone just to shoot down the hallway and pick all you guys off as well. You should treat each quadrant or section as its own individual drop zone. So rather than splitting up with your teammates, try to loot up a whole section together before moving on to another area. I find too many times you're either in the northeast section and your teammate's in the southwest section, and if he goes down, it's too hard for you to go support him or to go revive him in time. Also in Skulltown, right next to the northeast section, there is a respawn point, so you might catch many enemy teams trying to respawn their teammates there. I personally would suggest you do not use this respawn point since it's so close to Skulltown, and because of that, it's a 50-50 chance that you might come out of this alive. Instead, try one of these respawn beacons right outside of Skulltown, which is going to make it much easier for your teammates to survive before getting a gun. Upon clearing Skulltown, try taking advantage of the dino bones surrounding Skulltown as they offer great vantage points and could pinpoint where the next opposing teams are at. When it comes to choosing a legend to drop Skulltown, Pathfinder is absolutely the best with his grapple and zipline, which will allow for quick high ground, and upon making this video, they still haven't fixed Pathfinder's hitbox, so that's always a plus. Bloodhound is also great with his tracking ability, so you could find out whether a section has been looted or where an enemy team is going to go to next. Octane is also great with a speed boost that can get you out of tight situations and help you with the loot, so at least you get the guns before anybody else. Besides that, all the other legends are pretty average in this area. Caustic, I would say, is pretty overrated in Skulltown since there's way too many openings and it's so easy to escape his gas traps. Other than that, that should sum up the video. If you have any other suggestions that I didn't mention in this video, let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoy my in-depth analysis, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this. If you haven't had a chance to check out my bunker video, I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can check it out as well. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out. Yeah, hold on. Wait, don't die, don't die, don't die. Stay alive. You see that? No.
He's right here, low health.
Boom, another one down.
No way, I just do that shit.
Whole squad ate my dust.